Hey, what's up guys? So, the new Uniden R4w and R8w are now available. And the big update here with the new W versions of the detectors is that they have Wi-Fi built in for over-the-air updates for both the firmware and the GPS database. And in this video, let's go ahead and take a closer look here now at this new Wi-Fi functionality. We'll take a look at the new settings and menu options specifically geared here towards the Wi-Fi features. We'll then go ahead and set up the Wi-Fi functionality and get the detectors paired with the Wi-Fi hotspot. And then if there's any updates available, we'll go ahead and take a look at what the update process is like as well. If there's no updates available yet, because these detectors literally just started shipping, when the first update is available, I'll go ahead and do a follow-up video to show you guys what the update process itself is like. Now, if you want to pick up the detectors, I'll put links in the video description to where you can order them. They're available now from Uniden's website. And if you'd like to go ahead and take a closer look at this new Wi-Fi functionality, well, let's dive into it. Now to start things off, aesthetically, the new detector actually looks exactly the same as before. We've got the R4 here on the left and then the R4w on the right. You can see we've got the same button layout, same colors and everything, same cables and ports. They've stuck with a micro USB. There's not USB Type-C or anything. We've got the laser jammer port here on the side of both detectors, which we'll touch on here in just a moment. Same buttons and display, etc. And then same thing for the R8 versions. If we take a look at those, here's the original R8, here's the R8w, same buttons, same power ports, laser jammer port on the side, and then same display and buttons here. Next, let's go ahead and power on the detector to take a look at some of the new Wi-Fi specific settings. So we've got the R8w here. It comes preloaded with firmware version 1.27 here. And if you take a look at the different menu options, you can see now we have the option here for Bluetooth/Wi-Fi. So you can turn the whole thing on and off here like this. We've also got an option for Bluetooth pairing, and then nothing else afterwards for Wi-Fi. However, if you go all the way to the end of the menu, there's now a new spot here to show you the wireless access point that you've got the detector connected to over Wi-Fi. Now, one thing that I thought was interesting is if you take a look at the laser jammer features, they're not actually available here in this firmware version. It just goes straight from turning the laser detection on and off, and also IDing what laser gun you're shot with, but then there's no laser jammer functionality actually available here in the R8w yet. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at the R8, the original version, I've actually loaded on an older firmware version. The newest one, 1.35, has also removed that functionality, and so I've loaded on 1.28. And we can verify this is the original R8 because it says Bluetooth pairing. There's not an option here also for the Wi-Fi functionality. But the main thing I wanted to point out is the fact that after the laser detection and then the laser gun ID, we've got the laser jammer specific features. So you can turn the laser transponders on and off, basically the laser jamming functionality if you have it plugged in here to the side of the detector. If we have it turned on, we've got the options to adjust our JTK mode. So you can have detection only, you can have continuous jamming for testing, or you can have the auto JTK feature. And then we've also got the option to adjust the individual laser transponders. So you've got up to 6 heads that you can plug in, and you can choose if they're connected front or rear, or if they're designed to be receivers or transmitters when facing the Dragon Eye. Now, if you load the latest version here onto the R8 1.35, all this laser jammer stuff has since been removed. And if we take a look at the R8w again, you can see this is actually what the current R8 firmware looks like as well, to where we go straight from laser gun ID to just dropping that stuff altogether. And so my hope is that because the R8w is going to need to be updated to add the laser jammer functionality, I hope that, well, given all the backlash that we've seen with Uniden choosing to remove it here from the R8, when they get a new firmware here for the R8w, they also reintroduce it back into the R8 as well, so that, well, people can continue to use the laser jammer functionality. It's what the detectors were designed for. Uniden's been advertising that for years, and given that the laser jammer add-on should be available soon, I would love to see Uniden, well, change their mind and re-enable the functionality here on the original R8 and R4, and not just add it here to the Wi-Fi versions. And speaking of updates, let's go ahead and take a look at the Wi-Fi functionality next. So we're going to want to go into the detector and make sure that we've got the Bluetooth turned on first so that we can pair it with our phone and set up all the Wi-Fi stuff. So we've got Bluetooth and Wi-Fi turned on. And you're going to see the app can now see the detector here. So we're going to hit connect. And you can see that it says, make sure you got the detector in pairing mode. Now to do that, we're going to go on over here as well. And then afterwards, we've got the option for Bluetooth pairing. So we're going to turn that on here like this. You can see the ID of the R8w. We'll hit pair, and it's going to go ahead and just locate our detector. Do you want to pair to it? Yes. And then just like with the original R8, it's using Bluetooth here to connect to the detector, and now we're up and running here with the app. Now, I've done a previous video actually going over the app if you want to take a closer look at that. In this one, we're going to be taking a look specifically at the new Wi-Fi functionality. Now, you can see we've got the blue B right there letting us know that we're connected. On the original R8, it's actually over there. I've noticed on the R8w, it's over here on the left. Additionally, stuff that's new is if we go over here, there's now a setting as well for the Wi-Fi settings. So we can tap on that here like this. And it's going to go ahead and just prompt me with the SSID I want the detector to connect to. I've currently got it connected here to one of my home Wi-Fi hotspots, and then we're going to type in the password. You'll notice that it only supports 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. There is no 5 gigahertz that's also available. You'll then just type in your password and tap connect. Looks like it did not like connecting to my Wi-Fi hotspot. Try that again. There we go, and it looks like this time it actually did connect to the detector. And now it looks like we've got a Bluetooth and Wi-Fi icon here on the detector as well. So let's see, I haven't actually played around with this, so let's take a look. Is there anything new that's available? Go into the app, come on. Can we check for like any firmware updates? It looks like I've got firmware version 1.27 loaded in, and I guess unfortunately for the sake of this video, there's not any new firmware updates available yet. If there are, we should be able to go ahead and update the detector, and I guess when the next firmware update is available, I'll go ahead and do a follow-up video to show you guys what the update process here is like. And then taking a closer look at the detector itself, you can see I've now connected to the IoT Wi-Fi hotspot that I have here at home. And then there's also a new option here in the detector as well for Wi-Fi update. Let's take a look at that. Looks like we have the ability to manually update the firmware as well as the GPS database, or you can exit. Let's try, I guess, first with a firmware update. So we'll do that. It's going to check. Got the latest version. Okay, so I guess this failed. That makes sense because I've got the latest version. Okay, press any key to exit. And then we'll go back again here to the Wi-Fi update, and we'll try updating the GPS database just to see what it does. So check version, says I've got the latest version. And then again, firmware update failed here on the app itself. Next, let's repeat the process here with the R4w. Maybe we'll get lucky and there's a firmware update already available, and if so, we can take a look at what the update process is like. So we'll go ahead and dive into the detector here. I've currently got firmware version 1.14 loaded on, and then we've got the options here for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi turned on. We'll go ahead and start the pairing process. We can find it here in the app. Connect, we'll hit pair just like before. Should get that pop-up. Yep, we'll pair. And then we're up and running. So it says success, and we should be able to connect over here to the R4w. We've got the blue B icon right over there, letting us know we're connected to Bluetooth. Then we can go ahead and head back over here. We've got the Wi-Fi settings option, so we'll do that. And then same as before, we'll type in our SSID. We'll let it connect. Hopefully it works the first time. Nope, didn't work. Let's try it again. So we'll hit change, hit connect, and then hopefully it works the second time here, just like it did with the R8w. And cool, there we go, up and running. It says connected. And then sure enough, we've got the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi icon right there on the detector as well. Now, if we go into the settings again, we can go, it's like toward the end, we've got the option here. It says that we're connected to the IoT Wi-Fi hotspot. And then we've got the option here for the Wi-Fi update, just like before. Now, if we go into this, we'll hit OK. We've got the same options here to update the full detector or just the GPS database. We'll do the same thing. So we're going to go ahead and check. It says it's got the latest version. Do we get the same error here? Plus any key to exit. Let's see if we get that same error. We'll try doing the Wi-Fi update for just the GPS database. Check version. It's got the latest version. I wonder if that only happens when I'm in the firmware update section. Looks like I do have the latest firmware here. We'll try, I guess, just one more time just for kicks. So Wi-Fi update. So unfortunately, no update available yet for the R4w. Try check version. And there we go. Yep, there's the update that we had before. So I like that at least it's communicating that like, hey, you know, we've tried to update. Is it going to be able to go ahead and update the detector? So I'm curious to see what this process is like once we actually do have some updates available here from Uniden. Now, I'm curious if the laser jammer features are in the R4w yet. We can check that and take a look here at the settings. And then if we scroll down, we've got the options here for laser, so both laser detection and the laser gun ID, but there's no laser jammer settings here in the app. And then if we just want to quickly double check the detector itself, we'll scroll through here and we've got laser detection here, as well as a laser gun ID. But again, yep, looks like they've removed, or I guess they haven't added yet, the laser jammer support here on the R4w. So I'm really curious to see if the next firmware update will go ahead and enable the laser jammer features here on the Wi-Fi detectors. And then of course, if they choose to add it in on the non-Wi-Fi ones too. Now, once Uniden releases their first firmware update for either one of these detectors, I'll be able to go ahead and do a follow-up video to show you guys what the update process itself is like. I'm curious about things like, you know, when you start up your car, for example, how long does it take for the detector to boot up, to connect to the Wi-Fi hotspot, to go out and check for an update, and then to let you know that an update is available. hopefully that process is pretty quick. Now, luckily here in my early testing, it looks like both of these detectors are really quick to both boot up and get connected to Wi-Fi. I'm hopeful that it's just as quick to let you know when an update is available, and so when one is, we'll definitely take a look. We can also test things like what happens if something fails in the middle of the update, like you turn off your car or you disconnect from Wi-Fi, if the Wi-Fi signal drops, for example. Just what is the whole process like? So we'll test it out. We'll see what it's like here. So if you want to see what the update process is like, make sure, of course, you're subscribed to stay, notified for like new videos when they come out. These new Uniden detectors, the R4w and the R8w, are already available. I'll put links in the descriptions to where you can pick them up. The R9w should be available at some point as well. I'll put a link to that one as well so you can learn more about that. But either way, that's a look here as far as the Wi-Fi, pairing functionality and the app connectivity here with Uniden's new Wi-Fi capable detectors. Let me know what you think, if this sounds like a feature that would be useful to you. I use it on my Escort detectors, and it is a feature that I find helpful, especially just you start up your car and it lets you know if there's an update available without having to constantly be online, sign up for notifications, or be on the forums, or wait for a YouTube video like this to pop up or something. It's just you get notified of when an improvement is available, updates are available for your detector, and then you can just update over the air, especially considering the fact that Uniden's update software is usually pretty problematic. And so I think it will be a pretty useful feature for people, but time will tell, and of course we have to test it and use it and see how well it works. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys are doing great, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.